What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. You know, man, after watching that fight, Errol Spence gonna always be my favorite welterweight, but I gotta say, man, it ain't nothing wrong with giving credit what credit due. And I said whoever won the fight, I was gonna give them all the credit they deserve. And Terrence Crawford deserve all the credit that he get right now. He came in there and he slayed the giant. I mean, Errol Spence was the king of the mountain before him and Crawford fought, and Bud came in there just prepared on a whole nother level. And what I mean by that is him and his team got him ready to fight Errol Spence. That was all about Errol Spence that night. That fight game wouldn't have worked the same way, I don't think, for Crawford with nobody else. This was film study. This was him really taking his fight serious for the last 4-5 years, and you can see that Errol took the money part of it serious, but the fight, I just think he was looking past Terrence Crawford. Everything about it with his attitude, and all up until the point where they started fighting, and the day before the fight, he just showed that he was just real dismissive, and showed that he wasn't really worried about Bud at all. And then when I see how he fought, he showed that he wasn't really worried about Bud at all, when he should have gave him way more respect than he did. The respect he gave him when he was talking in interviews, he definitely didn't respect him the same way like that in the ring, because his preparation didn't speak to that. Him or Derrick James in this particular fight. But like I say, man, you gotta give Crawford credit what credit is due. I can, a world-class fighter is what Crawford has shown me. I think you got to put him up there with Floyd Mayweather and all of them. Now you do, because beating Errol Spence like that didn't nobody, even if they thought he was gonna win, they didn't see that. Didn't nobody see that shit coming. Not like that. Anybody who say they did, they a damn lie. I just don't think. Hell, I don't even think Crawford saw it coming that easy like that. Real talk. Spence was just completely unprepared, and I think at some point in the ring he knew that to himself. But I think he was just hoping if Crawford would eventually slow down and he could catch him with something in the championship rounds. You could see just how disappointed he was when the referee stopped the fight for good. But he was on his way back down at that point. He was a couple of more punches from taking another knockdown, it looked like to me, at the particular time when they stopped the fight. So it felt like a good stoppage from my advantage point. And Crawford showed in the ring that he was a A+ high caliber fighter. Although we've been new, and he showed that he definitely passed an A. He A+ if there ever was an A+ in the welterweight division. Number one. Number two, his preparation for the fight and his team is A+. His team did not let him down, because they got him ready to fight Errol Spence. They got him ready with a real visible fight plan. You could see that it wasn't just him coming out there throwing punches. You could look and see Crawford had a great strategy for that fight. That come from him and his team, and a lot of film study. They was ready for every mistake Errol made. Every time Errol overthrew one of his punches, Crawford was waiting on that and capitalized almost every single time. And it was several. Crawford got some bad habits too. I'm not gonna say them, but he got some bad habits too. And I don't know if it was that Errol can't pull the trigger no more, or he wasn't looking for it. But it was several times where Errol just didn't pull the trigger, and the shot is there, because he got little habits too. All the fighters do. And for Spencer not to be ready, showed me that him or his trainer wasn't looking at no film. So you got Crawford, the A+ caliber fighter, A+ caliber corner. Then, shit, the boy is A+ in negotiation. He left Bob Arum after having a very successful career over there at Top Rank. Built his name up real good, got a lot of championship fights, and came out here and became a free agent. I think his second fight as a free agent probably paid him more than every fight he had at Top Rank. And he negotiated this fight on his own. Now, it might have been like pulling teeth the way how it got done, but he got it done, and he got it done his way. And at the end of the day, most people would like to have control over their life. You got to respect this kind of shit. If you don't respect it, it's because you just a pure D hater. As much as I want Spence to win, I'm happy for any of these young brothers when they go out here and accomplish something, a task this large, and at a decent age where you still young, you can enjoy your money, you can enjoy your kids. I don't want nothing but the best for all these young brothers out here. So when I see two that done work their ass off, because one thing about boxing, that ain't free money in there. Well, put it like this, not when you fighting on a high level with fighters that's on the same caliber as you. It's damn near life or death in that ring when you boxing or doing MMA. I mean, you putting a lot on the line, because you can take your eye off the ball for 1 second and get caught with a big punch and change your whole life. I can't remember that one guy that was probably better than Roy Jones damn near back in Roy Jones' heyday. I think it's McCullum or something like that. And I think he got hit or something like that, and it made him basically a vegetable, man. So, I mean, boxing is a very dangerous sport, but it's one that we all love. And, hey, man, Terrence Crawford showed that he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. He deserved to go down as one of the greatest to ever lace up the gloves. And, like I said, in every video I made damn near, I already said I like Crawford too. I just wasn't a big Crawford fan, but I always like both fighters. How can you not like a good fighter and be a boxing fan? Now, like I said, I wasn't no big Crawford fan, because I really wasn't no big Top Rank fan at that particular time. Because they only really had, to me, they had Crawford, and it was somebody else they had over there Top Rank that I was watching too at that particular time. But they just at the one time they didn't have a lot of fighters that you wanted to see. And I had got kind of caught up in watching HBO and Golden Boy, because at that time, remember, Golden Boy for a long time was top dog out here before PBC came on the scene. And then when PBC came on the scene with the big splash, them and DAZN with Eddie Hearns, it was just so many different networks to pick from. I just found myself watching more PBC, because that's where it seemed like most of the brothers was at, and most of the guys that was big stars when they was in amateur boxing. But like I say, man, Bud has proved to the whole world that he is A+ in all categories. And he might not have a personality to sell a lot of tickets, but he damn sure got the fight game to sell them. And I think before it's all over, Bud gonna be mentioned as one of the greatest. Now, I do think when they had a rematch, Spence gonna try to come back and get it, and get his respect back. He tried to be undisputed. That dream is over now. So, I mean, I think he just gonna want to come in there and look like himself and get a decisive victory like Crawford did. I don't think he'll be satisfied with anything outside of that. Although a win is always a win, in this particular instance, I think Earl gonna want to give him what he got. Real talk. So I'm expecting if they fight again or whatever they fight again, I'm thinking it's gonna be better than the first time. But the only thing I would have to advise Spence is this: make sure you're ready if you jump right back up in there, because only thing about when fighters do this right here, if they find themselves in that same position again, them ghosts get in their head, and I done seen fighters get close to getting hurt like that. So just don't do the Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver, where you just keep forcing the situation. The rematch is expected, and I don't blame them. So we just gonna see what happens from here. But gotta give Bud, I just believe in. I am a boxing fan, so regardless of who I wanted, I'm happy for whichever one of them won a title. And now that Bud is the champion, I'm always gonna root for my boy Spence. But I'm gonna give Bud the credit that he went out here and earned and deserved, because he went out there and checked Spence. And like I say, man, he played him at every turn, and Spence just let him, and then went in the ring and fought like that. I mean, Lord have mercy. I mean, you can't hold none of this against Crawford. If Errol wasn't prepared or none of that, that ain't nobody's fault. But here's the same thing I say when people say that wasn't the real Sean Porter that went in there. Well, if Sean ain't going there 100%, that's on him. I'm not gonna blame that on Crawford right there. That's why I say I had to give him the credit for Kell Brook and Sean Porter, because it is what it is. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, hit the like and subscribe. Till the next time, it's your man Spill Dog. I'm out.